Hello Action Force fans, welcome to another one of my videos. In this video I'm filming the Action Force Swarm Trooper reissued in the Special Deployment series and the reissue of the gear pack that obviously goes along with it. So, as you can probably tell, I'm a little under the weather today. I've had a stuffy nose and we'll get through that together. So just thought I would warn you there. Anyways, these guys I've been wanting to look at for a while in hand, but I've kind of put off and got a little bit more of the troop builders for the good guys instead, just because I like their design a little more. So thought I would do them together instead of doing them separately, because that's how I like to do things. So I'll go ahead and open these guys up and show you after we get to looking at the boxes. So we'll go ahead and move this out of the way for now. Yeah, we're not cutting that out. So anyways, I was gonna go ahead and review some of the heavy hitters that I wanted to review, like Trigger, or what I want to call him, Roadblock. I can't think of his name. He is, Rollout. Yeah, there it is. He's a big ass box. Anyways, I'm gonna make you guys wait. So of course we have the packaging where you can clearly see the figure, unlike some other companies. I can't think. Special deployment art on the box with the tread plate that looks like it is being welded on or something like that. I still don't know exactly what that would be. Action Force logo, Swarm Trooper 14 and up. Of course, the Valaverse logo. Pretty much the same thing at the top. You get your warnings, a little bit more of that clear plastic continuation. As always, you get Action Force on the side with the Action Force logo. On this side, you get a nice look at the figure and what number he is in the line. You get, I guess that's the Swarm logo. So this is SDS number 4, and I will say I have all of the SDS figures. I think at the moment I have, I want to say I have all of them except for, I have everything in the SDS except for the gear pack, or not the gear pack, the weapons pack Delta, if that's the right one, because I had the weapons 10 from Crimson Shadow. I saw no point in getting the little one when I already got the big one, because I'll never need the little one and the big one. Might pick it up later. So I can technically go ahead and do a full review of the figures in the line, or in the wave, if you guys want to see that as well. I can put them all up here and try to make something work. So of course you have the classic back of packaging, where you have a nice product shot. You get your QR code that takes you to Valaverse.com. These that I hope to never cut out, the file cards. I actually haven't read this one, so I guess I'll be reading that after you guys, because I want to. Action points, which I am scared to cut out, or not scared, but dreading cutting those out, because I don't want to, because I don't like cutting my packaging that I'm going to keep. But we all know action points stuff is coming, so I will be cutting all of them, which is another reason I went ahead and got more figures. So of course I already showed you guys the haul that I got from Big Bad Toy Store and Valaverse.com. I got a couple Steel Brigades, and I got a couple of these guys, so I'll be reviewing the guys that I haven't already reviewed. So obviously no more Night Ops Steel Brigade reviews, because I already did that. That'd be kind of pointless. So just stay tuned. Whatever I get done today will be set to upload one video per day. So this will be coming out first, and then we will probably have whatever I decide to film next a day later, and then a day later, until I run out of figures or things to review for you guys. So it'll probably be a week's worth of videos or something like that. There's not many. Okay, so here's the Swarm gear pack with that nice artwork. I love the gear packs since they have completely different style packaging here. So I like that, the look there. I think that's a really cool pose. And I'm not sure if Swarm troops, the basics, are supposed to be Hornets, because I know we have the Wasp Raider, which is kind of like the officer in the ranks. So I don't know. Let me know. or if they're supposed to be like bees, because they are obviously color of like a bee, but also the color of a yellow jacket, so I'm confused. Same packaging as the others. Here's the back of the box showing you the 4 items we get, which, wow, I was honestly expecting a little more. I'm not mad, but usually when you turn it over, you see like 6 items, and by that I mean you at least get the corresponding muzzle flashes, which is fine, because I have a ton of them and I never use them, but I just find that kind of interesting. So, action points right there, or action point, as I should say. You get this, which is, I think, the same pose. Usually is, just in black and white. Action Force logo at the front that I forgot to mention. Here's the top, basically the same. We'll go ahead and open both of these and I'll give you a better look. Okay, so here he is. And just take a minute to appreciate this guy. So most of the other figures I have are green and black, and he of course is yellow and black, and the offset is, it's kind of indescribable. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. It's the same basic body mold, at least torso to thighs, as all the other Action Force. And yet it's completely different. And just, wow. Like, the way they retooled the legs and the lower arms, or even, I guess, all of the arms and legs, is just, like, you can't not appreciate this figure. The color scheme is really cool. There is a complaint that I have about it, though, and that's really just with anything that does this way, but I will get into that in a second. So, of course, you have his weapons, and I'd show you his accessories, but he's wearing all of them except for his hands and his stand. His stand is the same basic gray stand as all the other ones, so we'll skip showing that, but he has his vector, which is suppressed with the sight, the same mold as some of the other ones that I own, and you guys might own as well. We have the same knife that comes with Steel Brigades, if it will focus here, except it has a little bit of paint app right there on the blade where it should, and of course that fits right there perfectly. And then he has an MX9, which is the same as the Steel Brigade as well. And this one's always tricky for me to get out. Painted in that yellow and black scheme, which is my complaint. Yellow and black is kind of hard to do. Oh yeah, and this came kind of warped, so I have to force that back in there. But anyways, yellow and black is kind of hard to do. If you don't mold in yellow and then paint black on, you mold in black and paint the yellow on. And I think that was the problem. I'm not sure. I want to say like the crotch, chest, and the neck is molded in yellow and painted the black. It kind of looks like it. But they did it wrong on the hands and the weapons, and that kind of sucks. They molded in black for the hands because black was the majority. And then as you can tell, same with this sort of gauntlet there. We have an off-colored yellow that looks greenish because the black is still showing through because there wasn't enough coats of the yellow. And on some of my other hands it's worse, which, by the way, I would show you the hands, but I'm good. They're the same hands every figure comes with. He doesn't have any special hands or anything like that. He has his, of course, his gripping hands for the knife, the trigger fingers that he comes with, the fisted, and then the sort of open palm gripping hands as well. That's all he has is 8 sets, or 4 sets. I don't count. I'm stupid. Math. What is math? These look like little magazines, which are kind of cool. They fit very nice with the fact that his primary is a vector. I wish they would have painted the magazine in there at the bottom of the vector, but oh well. I mean, I could do that myself, but I don't have any paint. So what I really like about this figure is the way they did the face being translucent, you see the ball peg, but it doesn't really, like, it's not clear enough for it to matter. And then this isn't solid black, and of course none of this. It's kind of like a marbled, I want to say some other companies, maybe Hasbro's done this before. It's kind of, I don't know how to explain this. It's coming across on camera. It's got a nice, like, sheen to it, and it's sort of shiny. Looks better in real life than it does with my lighting setup on camera, but yeah. So detail-wise, he looks great. He's the first villain I've opened in my Action Force collection, and I think he'll do nicely. I want to troop build him, but I went ahead and only got one of these guys because I will have three. I have three sort of villains, 2 swarms and 1 garrison figure. So I'll also be taking a look at the Swarm Sentry, which I wanted to do in this video, but then I decided not to. But he's probably the exact same figure with a different paint app. Of course, that gold and black. So that's one reason I didn't troop build, because I already went ahead and got the other one. So his articulation is not hindered by anything. This is all soft right here. For the legs, they still kick up. That kind of moves out the way of the harness. The legs, of course, are the same double jointed. Just because they're changed doesn't mean the articulation is gone. They still rotate at the thigh and everything. The only thing is the boot cut is gone, but we've seen that gone on like Desert Rat and other things too, so I'm not complaining there. Don't really need one. Of course, you retain torso articulation, so you can do some really crazy sci-fi poses there. The head doesn't look up all that much, but that's due to the ball being really tight apparently. I really hate this. Like, I'm not saying it's Action Force's fault. Let me grab the head. But I hate that design. I've always hated that design since I was a kid playing with 5 POA action figures in like 2005. Like, I can't. Like, this came out, I want to say, in the 90s. Like, I hate this style of peg. Just because there's no neck peg, and then the fact that everything falls off when you push it too far. And it's also really tight right now, so I'm trying to loosen it up. But I guess we'll take a look inside, because I see, what the hell, this weird little yellow spot there. I'm assuming it's just either a QC issue or some dirt that got under there. It's kind of random, or maybe it's just an unpainted spot. But yeah, it's all yellowed out, like it looks like it's been sitting for way too long. It's not coming across very well on camera. It might just be because the light is hitting that visor and spreading the shadow, probably. Getting away from my little rant here. Okay. So, if we ignore the things I don't like and appreciate it for what it is, sorry, I'm sniffling here. I like the logo on the chest as well. The details are great. If it wasn't for the little paint apps and the little articulation in the neck that every figure has in this line, I'd be giving it a 10 out of 10 right now. Of course, I'll go ahead and throw the gear pack on. We'll take a look at that real quick, separately of the figure, and then I'll put it on the figure for you guys. I think I've looked at him enough. I was going to say something else, but I've forgotten it. So go ahead and move him back there, and we'll open up the gear pack. Alright, so of course, while I'm filming this video, someone shows up and turns on a motor outside. So I'm sure you can hear that in the background. He is either a termite guy or spraying weed killer or something out there at the neighbor's house that's directly in front of my wall that you guys are looking at. So, ignoring that if you can, the gear pack comes with some cool things, even though it's only 4 items. The items are kind of hefty. There's 3 big items and 2 weapons. We'll get into the most boring, in my opinion, first. So here's the stand you would actually want to display your swarm with. All translucent yellow, which is pretty cool. Now I actually have a I have 3 different stands in my collection, and 4 if you count the fact that from whatever year Action Force started, was it 2021 when the first stands came out, and they were slightly different gray than the SDS ones. So here is the shield, which I don't understand because, like, I know the Swarm has really high-tech stuff, and that's about all I know about them. I'm moving my tripod. From what Bobby said, considering I haven't read the file card or any of the comics because I'm waiting for the trade paperbacks. I like the honeycomb pattern. The Swarm logo is basically a honeycomb pattern with some extra bits there. And this is also mostly translucent. And I like the fact that this piece is probably the only thing sort of holding that in there. So I like the look of that. I don't know what else they could have done with that. Maybe blacked out the intricate detail there. Otherwise, I think that scales well. I like that there's a lot of translucent pieces here. I usually am not a fan of that, but for like a bug, I feel like it works really well. This is, of course, the most interesting piece. This is the flight pack, or whatever it's actually called, that in itself might as well just be a bug, with some really nice wings, some actual lines in there to make it look like what, I don't know, anatomy. I can't think. You guys know what I'm trying to say there. Of course, we have more of that painted yellow, which at times can look gross, but I think on this it looks pretty good. And then we have the little booster there that's supposed to be like the Stinger. Not sure if the wings move. They almost look like they should, but I don't think they do. So you guys can let me know below if they do or not. But I doubt it. And then we have some extra little thrusters there. Of course, the logo painted in yellow. I like the black on gray, and then the yellow sort of breaks up all the colors. And then of course this we're not going to see, so it's all black, but not a lot to say about it. It looks pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put them on them if I can. This is always the tricky part, trying to see in that dark shadow to line this up for any figure. And I wish there was a better way to attach things, because the figures with the, oh, it's not on frame. What is this called? The vest. The figures with the vests are the worst to try and put like backpacks in, because they always want to fall out. See, this is really loose. It's in there, I think, as far as it'll go. Tightened up a little bit, but not enough. Luckily, this is soft. Here's what that looks like. I think mine's a little crooked right now, but I think it looks good. Would look a lot better if I had a flight stand that would actually work for Action Force. I wish we could get some dynamic stands from Action Force, but I bet Bobby will say that other companies make them, so he's probably not going to. No hate to him or anything, just I'm assuming that's probably what he would say. So, we have this MP7. I'm pretty sure it's the same mold as all the others. Painted. Focus. With that yellow there. And then we have another grenade launcher, which is all black, painted yellow. So, all in all, when you put the gear pack and the figure together, the figure actually has a lot of accessories. I'm doing this all wrong. I don't know. I kind of wish this wasn't. I've never been a fan of horizontal grips like that. I would rather it be vertical. Like if they just flip that on its side, I could put it on them like this and be fine. Now I gotta figure out what to do, because this probably isn't the right hand for this at all, because this isn't the gripping hand. Cool thing with the SDS Wave is you don't really have to worry about breaking hands. Let's go ahead and put this. It fell off already. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna hold it. So I had it, but it fell. It's kind of what it looks like, I guess. So I think that's pretty cool. Probably won't display him with all of that unless I can find somewhere to put them. I don't really have anywhere to display my figures, so I'm currently trying to figure out what shelf to buy. I really like this stand, even though I don't really use the stands. I think this color is really cool. It actually does, to me anyways, look like sort of honey or whatever they were actually going for. Would have been cool to see maybe a little less vibrant yellow and more like darker colors, like on the lines. Would have been nice just for the little details to have sort of, I don't know, not necessarily paint apps, but like a two-tone. I don't know how that would work though. Might be too much cost there. So I can't get this shield to stand up on its own, which kind of sucks for the video, but whatever. Let's go ahead and set this to the side now. We'll keep the wings on him. He really reminds me of the, what is it, the Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man, or whatever that bad guy's name was. It's really what I get from him. So basically, Swarm is fighting Action Force, so we'll go ahead and do the Steel Brigade comparison. Here's what he looks like next to a normal Steel Brigade, which is also what he looks like next to the Night Ops, even though Night Ops is a different color. And then I'll go ahead and throw a figure in who's not standing up, just for sort of size comparison. And he's also not standing up all the way, but that is my Delta Trooper Steel Brigade. And then just the last figure I have close, we have, let's go ahead and move him back there. We have Desert Rat. And the way he is posed, or the way the Swarm Trooper is posed, it kind of looks like he's being sort of captured right now, the way these guys are. Anyways, let's try to get the camera to work with me. So anyways, thank you for watching. I'm sure this is a really long video. I was not intending it to be. That is the Swarm Trooper reissue and the reissue of the Swarm gear set. You guys can probably still pick yours up on Valaverse.com. I didn't check before this video, but I'm sure there's still some left. The restock of Series 3 for all the girls is coming out soon. So if you didn't pre-order like me, you can get those sometime soon. Probably next week if I can guess correctly. So I guess we'll just be waiting for another update on that. But we should be able to get those and then hopefully get them shipped to us by spring, so that way when spring gets here we're not still waiting on Series 3, and then whatever the next series is, we'll be able to pre-order those figures as well. So hope you guys are excited for upcoming Action Force like I am. Due to me posting Action Force, my channel has grown like, what, 20 subscribers in 2 weeks, something like that, which is crazy. And I feel like at this rate I could get to 100 by the end of February for sure. So here's to continuing growing, and here's to you guys for wanting to watch my video for some reason. But I'm gonna go ahead and end this and film the next video, most likely, if I have time. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to upload this as fast as possible for you guys. Today is the 20th, I believe, and hopefully it'll be uploaded by the end of today.